Because I'm such a cinephile and I love movies, my one big gripe, especially when it comes to lesbian films or any like representation of like queer women, it always happens in like the 1700s or like way back when, and someone always dies or someone always leaves. And I went through a big, like, when I first figured out my sexuality and like not before, like right before COVID. Again, I was so into movies and I started consuming all this gay media and stuff, and I got this attitude from all these movies that I was watching that like it all kinds of ends in sadness, and someone dies or someone leaves, and everyone ends up sad, and it always needs to be like a little bit alarming, and like I kind of had like a bad idea in my head of like what I would be like as a queer person. Like I can't really have a relationship because like they'll leave or I'll leave or one of us will die. Like it won't be like, which seems like a very like elementary perspective to have. But like when you're a kid too, you're so impressionable and you just kind of assume like that's how it's gonna be. Like you're not gonna be able to, even if you're happy for a little bit, it won't end up happy. So why try at all? You know, I used to think like that was a very damaging way to, especially when it comes to queer women. There's so many. I love movies like Portrait of a Lady on Fire is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful film. But the problem is, it's the end where like she's sad and she leaves and she can never do anything about it, and she's sitting on the balcony like trying to reach out to her, and the girl just cannot see it. Like she's like just unable to like they've like lost that connection. I feel like you should still absolutely have the opportunity to show queer people like not always staying together. Like it shouldn't be like every straight like couple like they always stay together in the end. Despite their issues, they're able to get over it. Like it's wonderful to show people broken and going through things and having complex relationships, but you have to give them something at some point, right? Otherwise, everyone's just gonna feel bad about themselves.
Like so many times it ends with tragedy.
I know, and it's just so exhausting. Like I had no idea. This is like maybe a bad example, but I had no idea what Brokeback Mountain was about going in, and the fact that it was about two gay cowboys. And I'm like getting my popcorn ready, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch a gay movie. I'm so excited. And then it's like 2 a.m. and I'm sobbing because he's dead. And it's like, oh God, they just can never make him happy. The struggle should be worth something. You know, like it's. I always feel like people probably get emotionally exhausted watching movies where the character is like beaten down and they struggle, and they don't really. There's nothing. There's no, not even like, it doesn't have to be like a prize at the end, like they get the guy or something like that. But it should just be something like they've learned a lesson, they're able to move on. Like every like piece of media I've seen, it seems like it would just be like such a heartbreak that would stick with you forever. You can never really get over it. And I think it is like, it's kind of tragic that like there's no need to showcase that. Because like we're aware of that narrative. We've lived that narrative for like so many years. So we don't need to have that narrative constantly put on the silver screen for us to watch over and over again, you know? Before the establishment of the Hays Code, you were allowed to have queer people on screen, and it wasn't like they didn't have to be killed off. And like now, as a consequence for existence, we have to be killed. And I find that like deeply unsettling that it was like a mandate